Now, from the nation's capital, here's the Pentagon Channel's ATS in brief.
Team up the greatest golfer of our time with service members, 30,000 of them, and you have the makings of a huge tribute to the military. At the Earl Woods Pro-Am hosted by Tiger Woods, the #1 golfer included service members every step of the way. Tiger played a round of golf with 2 service members and was joined by former President George H.W. Bush and his wife for the final holes. Tiger also donated 30,000 free tickets for this week's tournament to military personnel. He says growing up on a military base made him appreciate the sacrifices of America's armed forces.
Just understanding the commitment that it takes each and every day for the servicemen and women, what they do for us. I just think that it was something that would have been and should be honored.
Here are the sights and sounds of Independence Day at Congressional Country Club in Bethesda, Maryland.
On the 6:30 pairing, please welcome professional Tiger Woods.
Oh, no.
Right, I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is saying thank you. I mean, they do so much for us that, probably the general public doesn't understand. And for them to go out there and give of themselves and the commitment that it takes for them to do what they do, we want to say thank you. And this is our way, a small way of saying thank you.
That's better.
It's been a way of life for me. I picked golf up when I came in the Air Force.
We're in the military. We're used to, speaking in front of people. We're used to being around a lot of people. And I think we do a pretty good job of focusing, okay? And I think that helped a lot.
I'm stationed at Fort Belvoir. I'm a sergeant. I responded to an email that I got saying that they needed caddies, and here I am. He asked me what I thought I should do. So I told him, and he said, here you go. So. I was hoping it'd go in the hole, and it did. Probably the first and only time I'll ever have done that.
The crowd lightened up, and I relaxed a lot more when the president showed up. It was great. Very approachable person. Many people that are better suited to do this than me, and I just hope I represented the armed forces well.
You've got a world-famous figure, okay, who thinks that the men and women are in the military are worth it, okay, and he wants to dedicate a tournament. I would become a Tiger fan even if I didn't like him. How's that?
Nearly 600 troops re-enlisted and 161 were naturalized as American citizens on the 4th of July in Iraq. Army General David Petraeus, commanding general, Multinational Force Iraq, administered the oath of enlistment, and he praised the new Americans for their service and sacrifice.
So as we of the American delegation celebrate the 231st birthday of our United States, I would like to thank each and every one of you here for your service and for your sacrifice in Iraq.
The Commander-in-Chief told members of the West Virginia Air National Guard withdrawing from Iraq would hand the enemy a victory and put America's security at risk. President Bush delivered an Independence Day speech to the 167th Airlift Wing. He said the war on terror will require patience, courage, and sacrifice.
We've lost some good men and women in this fight. And so on this 4th of July, we pause to remember the fallen and the grieving families they have left behind. We hold them in our hearts. We lift them up in our prayers. And we pledge to honor their memory by finishing their work for which they have given their life.
The owners of a musical landmark on the outskirts of the nation's capital and a vocalist who uses her talents to entertain U.S. troops kicked off 4th of July festivities for service members as a way of thanking them for their service. Gary Olsey and Ralph Capobianco, co-owners of the Birchmere Music Hall, closed their doors to the general public to treat about 150 veterans, reservists, and active duty military to an evening of free food. Musician Jenny Boyle and her band took to the stage to wow the crowd as she belted out a mix of original work and classic hits.
This is the only way I know how to thank these people for the sacrifices that they make on a regular basis and the sacrifices that their families make on a regular basis. So this is just a small way that I can thank them for what they've done for us.
Boyle is no stranger to military audiences. She's traveled to 26 countries to perform for troops, and she's performed multiple times at the Pentagon and Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. TSP share prices for Thursday, July 5th opened at 12 even for the G Fund, 11.25 for the F Fund, 17.03 for the C Fund, 20.88 for the S Fund, and 24.99 for the I Fund. For the Pentagon Channel, I'm Petty Officer Christina Moore.